All right. New studio. This is the new GP studio. One second. Um, and a while ago, I told you I would do a Q&A for the Discord of the questions that were in the Discord. So I wanted to do it on video. It took me a while to get the video set up. I actually bought a camera. Didn't know that you needed a lens for a camera, so that took another week to have that delivered. But anyway, I'm pumped. I have the setup now that I like, and I want to do like a lot more video content going forward. So I thought first thing I would make in this new GP studio is a Discord Q&A with the questions. I went back, looked through Discord, found the questions, and wanted to make a quick little video here just to kick it off. So first question was from Goose Mode. It says, what sports bet types are safer or simply better for someone who is trying to build from a sub $50 bankroll? Okay, so my answer to this would always be just promos. Like I wouldn't do anything besides promos and deposit bonuses. So I don't know which sites you have deposited on or haven't, but what I would do is if you have a $50 bankroll and that's sitting on a site, I would actually ask, like, is your bankroll actually $50? Right? Because here's the situation. You could go buy something for $100 in real life. You could go out, you could go out to dinner a couple times, $100. Or you could take that $100 and deposit it onto a site that you haven't deposited on yet and get $100 free dollars back. So like I would press you to save some extra money just to use on deposit bonuses to get your initial bankroll up, right? So if you only have $50 and it's on, let's just say it's on Prize Picks, I'm only betting tacos then. I would just take 2 pick tacos for, taco plus something that, someone that you respect has posted in the Discord. Taco plus that probably. And then once you start getting towards $500, that's when I would start actually betting things that aren't promos. So I can't stress enough, like if you're a sub, if you're in that 50 to, $200, $300 bankroll range, you shouldn't be betting anything but promos. And I know it sounds boring, and I know I know it takes a lot of patience, but you really don't have the cushion to be taking other types of bets, and B, I would say that it means that you're relatively new to betting, and you don't, or at least new to trying to win at betting, and you don't have, it's unlikely you have the skills yet to start finding bets outside of promos that are consistently going to outperform and make you money, right? Okay, question 2 is from 6. When building up to a bankroll like yours, what's the most important thing to focus on? Easy, saving money. Like, you want me to, I think a lot of people want to hear something else, but the most important thing is just being cheap, saving money. Because every time you don't spend money, that money stays in your bankroll and compounds. And that money is going to be so much more valuable if you have an edge in your bankroll. So like, I mean, I don't know. I told that story about how like I ate oatmeal for lunch and like a lot of dinners for months, And because of that, like I kept pouring money back into my bankroll, right? And that money then compounded a lot quicker. That's the only way that you can grow, is to plug the leaks of money flowing out. And that's not, has nothing to do with sports betting. Let's say you have an edge in sports betting, that's required to obviously grow your bankroll. But the number one thing that separates people with big bankrolls and small bankrolls is money management. There's a lot of great broke poker players I've known because they have terrible money management. They never have a bankroll and their lifestyle suffers because of it. They can never build a stable life. They're always playing other people's money. What you need to do is tighten your personal finance and make sure that you're investing everything you can back into the bankroll, being very systematic, being very disciplined. That's the key to building a big bankroll. It's not magic. It's just the same thing as building a big bankroll in life, right? You just save more than you spend. And then for us, we get to invest that money we save into sports betting. So everything you can save instead of spend becomes worth a lot more money with an edge in sports betting. Okay, we have Nurox. Can you go more into depth about the guaranteed profit strategy when signing up for new books? Any restrictions or hurdles to know about? What's the optimal amount to have for each book when joining? Well, the actual optimal amount that's easy. You have to have the max deposit bonus, right? So if they offer a 100% deposit bonus up to $100, the optimal amount is $100. If you have more, that's fine. If you have less, that's honestly not fine, because think of it like a 401k match, right? That's free money. So if you're depositing 50 into a place that has a $100 match, you're throwing away like $50, right? You're lighting $50 on fire. And you have to kind of retrain your brain to think of that as being irresponsible. But to leave $50, $50 free dollars on the table, that's waste. That's the same thing as wasting $50. So you need to have the match for the full deposit bonus. That's the optimal amount. If you're just trying to play like the bonus game, I will preface this by saying it's like not a game that I've really gone much into depth on. It's not one of our core strategies, but what I would advise you to do is have a PayPal account that you can easily withdraw, deposit. Again, it's going to be it's going to take time to go through each site, because as we know, withdrawals are too hard in sports betting compared to deposits. So I'd recommend basically figuring out like how much you can put into each site possible so that you can just get the $100 or the $200 or whatever it is deposit match. And then from there, I would play through it and try and withdraw as quickly as you can if you don't want to use the site. If you're thinking about sports books instead of DFS sites, there are some that are going to have a much higher deposit. Like these are where I'm talking like $1,000 matches. And I still think that you should be taking advantage of these. Although like there's a case that can be made where you just really don't. Actually, no, because then you can still create a strategy where you're taking both sides of the same bet with matching a $1,000 deposit match and make free money. So, but you do need like $2,000 to do that, or like a little extra money. So what you should do if you have a small bankroll is start with the sites that have the smaller deposit matches, get that money and just start spinning your bankroll up, spinning it up. Now, I'm not going to go through like how to fully arbitrage a game. I mean, it should be relatively simple. If you have a +3 and a -3, you take the best odds you can on the +3, the best odds you can on a -3, and you win no matter what. And you're trying to basically lose as little money as possible while you're guaranteeing, as little amount of juice as possible. That's why I say best price, while taking both sides of the same game. And that's going to give you a risk-free strategy, which is, of course, possible. Beyond that, the key thing is to always take advantage of the full deposit bonus and to start with the smaller ones. If you don't have a big bankroll, use the smaller ones to build your bankroll up, and then take on the big ones when you have the capital, when you have the cash to actually take both sides of like an $1,000 bet, right? And last question is from Tater Tot. Do you limit overexposing yourself to any player props, like using the same player for multiple slips? So this is something I learned the hard way early in golf, because what would happen is our model would show value on somebody when the outright odds came out, the top 20s, and we'd be like, okay, we'll bet this person to win, top 20. And then all of a sudden, when the matchups come out, we're showing value on them in the matchup. And we're like, oh, okay, do we bet this matchup? Then the round 1 matchups come out and we show value on them there. Then the round two, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, like if our model was wrong about this person, like we are totally fucked because we've way overstepped our risk. As the week goes on, we keep betting on that player. Now, even if it's all pre-tournament, yes, basically, like you want to think about each player prop as a bet, and if you want to take them on multiple slips, just split that bet up across multiple slips. So for example, if you're like, the most I can take on a player prop is, I don't know, $100, you could take, one slip with them for $100. Or if you want to use them across slips, then what you could do is take like five $20 slips. It's not perfect, but that's the way that I've done it in golf, and it's worked out. It's worked out fine, right? I think that it's a good rule of thumb, and you don't have to be absolutely perfect here, but you do have to realize that like those bets aren't independent of each other at all. And you can't just like, if your unit size is 100, you can't just throw a unit on the same player in like 8 different slips and think that it's all okay for them to be 1 unit bets, because that's an 8 unit bet on that player, right? So that's the key thing you need to know. If you keep that in mind and you play conservative, you'll be fine. But definitely keep track of like overexposure to certain players. So anyway, first Q&A. Thanks everybody for the questions. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Just getting set up with the new video. Might throw this on YouTube. Who knows? But yeah, thanks everybody, and hope this was helpful.